Welcome to the Produce Moms Podcast, where we believe there is a produce mom in all of us. I'm Lori Taylor, founder and CEO of the Produce Moms. For 10 years, I sold fresh produce to over 300 grocery stores in the U.S. And today, my team and I are fully focused on inspiring people to eat more fruits and vegetables. This show is just one of the ways that we hope to inspire you and your family to eat more produce and live a better life. If you like what you're hearing on the podcast, join our community of almost 40,000 in all 50 states and over 30 countries by visiting theproducemoms.com/subscribe. And be sure to subscribe and leave us a review on iTunes. Thanks for being here. Enjoy today's show. Welcome back, everyone. This is the Produce Moms Podcast, and what a great day it is here because we are welcoming not only a brilliant contributor to our industry, a woman who has been a leader for many years, but also one of my dear, true, real friends. And that is, as I grow up and each and every day, I realize what a great blessing and gift that is. So today we are welcoming Kim Flores. She is the Vice President of Business Development and Marketing for Pro Citrus Network. And for those of you that follow along with all things TPM, you know that PCN, Pro Citrus Network, is one of our dear brand partners, and we've had the pleasure of supporting them to promote all of their product lines. And oh, what an exciting time of year it is because we are celebrating the return of the MandaRosa, which is one of the most delicious pieces of fruit that you can ever find. And it has the most amazing and just captivating red color. It's a red flesh mandarin. So we're going to dive into that product specifically and all things citrus with the woman who's taught me the most about citrus of anyone I've ever met in this whole industry, Kim Flores. Welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you so much, Lori. It's a pleasure and a privilege to be here with you today. So thank you so much for all of your kind words, and you continue just to shower on me so graciously.
Oh, you're the best. No, I'm thankful for you. As our listeners know, Kim was part of our Thanksgiving episode. She's played a big role in my professional life. So listen back to that episode if you missed it. But Kim, top of the show, tell us more about yourself, your professional background and the great company, Pro Citrus Network.
Sure. Great. Thank you so much for the introduction again. So a little bit about me. I'm a third generation Florida native. I've been around Florida citrus my whole life and throughout my career in produce. I joined PCN a few years ago when we were growing our Eastern division. So a little bit about PCN. We're a grower, shipper, importer, and exporter of the citrus category, and we specialize in providing high-quality fresh citrus year-round to retail and food service markets throughout North America, as well as other countries around the world. So we were founded in 2004 by our owner and grower, Alan Dodge, and Jackie Ediger and Hector Gonzalez. They were three really good friends with long careers in produce, and they started our company as a small grower shipper firm, and we've grown over the years from there. So our company represents the global citrus category, and we pretty much follow the seasons year round. Mm-hmm. So wherever it is citrus season, that's where we're connected with growers and harvesting to meet the demands of the market.
That's great. And right now, winter, I think that everyone kind of associates winter time with citrus, right? This is a great time of year for the domestic category. And then I know that we're not, just right around the corner, we've got our imports coming in through all of your import partners.
Correct. Yeah. We recently just finished up our summer citrus season, which is the import season that typically runs from May to October, November. Now we're into the domestic season, which picks up right kind of about as that season's ending, the domestic season's beginning at, late September, October, we start harvesting. And so now we're starting to get into the thick of the domestic season with fruit from California, of course, where we're based, and Florida as well.
That's great.
So in any of the northern hemisphere areas. Yeah.
That's great. So we've got to talk about MandaRosa. We have had such a great time at the Produce Moms supporting PCN with launching this it's just a captivating piece of fruit. We've talked about it. I've had the pleasure of promoting it on the Indie Style Morning Show that I contribute to. And We've obviously created a lot of content for it through the Produce Moms platform and supporting the content that you're creating at PCN. But tell us more about the MandaRosa.
Yeah, so we had so much fun with it last year. TPM did such a great job with that. We, of course, engaged you with the product launch and trying to help us hone in on the right brand name, which was a fun exercise.
Right. Yeah. The Produce Moms,
yeah,
we had a unique role with this, you guys. Kim entrusted the team at TPM to survey our consumer followers, our entire database of email subscribers, on having, we had a role in naming this fruit, and it, MandaRosa was the overwhelming favorite.
Yeah.
And that jived with what Pro Citrus Network did through their other research, including within your own team, which I thought was really cool. You let your staff and your team have a really unique role in naming this fruit too.
Yes, it was a crowdsourced project, so it was a lot of fun. So, so in addition to the conventional and traditional citrus commodities that we handle throughout the year, our niche in the category is specialty citrus, such as sweet limes, kumquats, blood oranges, etc. And the MandaRosa is a piece of fruit that falls right into that category. So the way that kind of came about to us, backing up a little bit before we started working with TPM on branding it. Years ago, a grower approached us with this unique specialty item, the MandaRosa, to see if we could market it for him. And I'll never forget that day out in the groves with him, cutting open that first beautiful piece of fruit, which was unlike any mandarin I'd ever seen. It was the exterior of it looked like your average, mandarin, pretty ripe at that time of year. But when we cut into it, it was as red as a glass of wine. It was so beautiful. So it was that was the start of a fun project, and then when it came time to start, developing the name, of course, we did all that work with you. And last end of January of 2020 was our first season handling this for the grower, and we went through the whole project of naming it and doing some research on it, developed some special packaging for it. It's in kind of a natural looking craft style bag, which was went over very well. And yeah, it was a big hit. So, and the fact that the peak season is right around Valentine's Day, because we have it the whole month of February, it really makes such a great item for marketing in the produce department to have a Valentine's Day promotion. So yeah. So the variety was originally created in Sicily, Italy, which automatically gives it some credence to romance. Hello, that's where it was born, right? But it's a natural cultivar of a blood orange and a clementine. So they naturally bred those two varieties together, and its varietal name is known as a Manda Red Variety. So MandaRosa is kind of a brand name. Manda Red is the variety. So we grow it in the sunny valley of the Central Valley of California. And it's just such a special variety. The interior is red flesh, and the color kind of changes. The internal colors of the variety vary and change as the fruit matures. So some of the early fruits that you'll cut open may not be as pigmented, but as the season goes along, the color gets a little more deep and rich, like a blood orange.
And it's absolutely, I love it. It's almost like an ombre effect within your fruit. And it really is just an absolutely beautiful piece of fruit.
Yeah. Some of the fruit can even have, the pulp almost looks purplish, red, purple. And then some of it's more of a tequila sunrise type effect, like you said, ombre.
Yeah. No, it's gorgeous. And it is a perfect way to celebrate Valentine's Day. It made for really easy TV last February.
Yes.
Yeah.
It really, really did. And one of the really, really cool things about this pigmentation is that it's caused by anthocyanins, which that's where blood oranges get their deep, rich color from, is from anthocyanins. And anthocyanins, it's the most powerful antioxidant in nature. It's also found in blackberries and blueberries and pomegranates. And anthocyanins, they have well-documented health benefits. For example, they're considered a super antioxidant. They're good for lowering blood pressure, preventing diabetes. Lots of research out there that indicates the power of anthocyanins. And there's also, this is really interesting, there's also a report that we've seen that a documented study where the research indicates that anthocyanins found in blood oranges are natural fat inhibitors, meaning that will help you to keep weight off. So that would require a regular diet of anthocyanins or blood oranges. But I say that very loosely. I know we have.
That's right. I think every produce mom guidelines. Just picked, their ears just perked up a little. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Amazing. Okay. Check. Add more MandaRosa's to the grocery list.
Right.
But in all seriousness, Kim, I mean, 2021 is absolutely the year where our country and consumers at large are realizing that immunity is in the produce department. Food really is medicinal. And that is something that, I love that you just shared this, because citrus was a category. I mean, 2021, there was a real boom in citrus category sales and consumers kind of returning to the fruit in a unique way, purchasing volumes that I don't think we've seen in years.
Absolutely. I mean, it trended over the summer. It was well above 50% over year sales for quite a while. It was, it was the king of the graphs there for a long time when we were monitoring retail sales, and it has leveled off somewhat. But our marketing forefathers did a fantastic job driving home the importance of vitamin C and building immunity, strong immunities. So that's where I think everyone kind of gravitated towards oranges, just to make sure that they had their vitamin C. And this fruit is in addition to having that high vitamin C, you've got this other great antioxidant with the anthocyanin. So it is, like you said, one of those things that can check all those boxes.
That's right. Yes. And so, and that anthocyanin component is that how they get their red flesh? Cause all these other fruits that you were talking about that have them, I mean, those are purple and red fruits. Yeah. Correct.
Yeah. That's what gives it the deep pigment. Correct.
Okay. That's great. So that's actually that deep pigment, you guys, that's the superfood right there. You can see it. No, I love it.
That's right.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about the flavor, Kim. Walk our listeners through the eating experience of the MandaRosa.
So mandarins, inherently the flavors really vary from variety to variety. So some of your earlier varieties may not have the sweetness of the later varieties. And that's just the natural byproduct of the season. As fruit grows and matures, it gets better and sweeter. But each variety has its own unique kind of thing about it, with the flavor in the MandaRosa's is really very robust. It actually kind of leans more, in my opinion, more towards a tangerine type of flavor. The early fruit has a real can have a little bit of a tartness to it, kind of really catches your attention. It's not as mild as, say, like a clementine. But then as the season goes on, it gets a little bit sweeter and sweeter. And it's really, to me, it's kind of like a marry between a mandarin and tangerine flavor, I guess, because it does have that robustness.
Yeah. And I do think, and I know this from the days where I sat at the sales desk selling citrus, and gosh, tangerines are one of my favorite citrus items. They're not very, I mean, they've almost been, I feel like they've almost been replaced because consumers are looking for varieties that don't have seeds.
Correct. Yeah. And these are seedless. You're right.
So it's kind of nice that they have some of those flavor properties, but yet they have all of the other attributes that consumers demand and expect in their citrus, especially the easy peel varieties.
Exactly. You're exactly right. I grew up on Florida tangerine. So when we started bringing in clementines from Spain into the US, and I thought, wow, this is such a great piece of fruit. It's so convenient and there's no seeds. It's easy to peel. If we could just have the flavor of a Florida tangerine with, with the convenience of these easy peelers, that'd be great. And there are some varieties that are coming out now that have those qualities. We've come a long way in breeding, different citrus varieties. But you're right. The convenience of not having seeds certainly has driven the category into that direction.
Yeah, for sure. And that's something that you see department wide. I mean, look at watermelon. It's hard to even find a watermelon that has seeds, but when we were growing up, that was all that existed. So
absolutely. And the days of seed spitting contests are long over.
Yeah, for sure.
In the world of COVID.
I know. Isn't that the truth? So, okay. So these MandaRosa's have an incredible flavor. They're absolutely gorgeous. They're easy to peel. They're seedless. I mean, what's not to love here, Kim?
Exactly. Yes, they really are. I mean, they're so gorgeous on their own, as they can be, serving them as just something as simple and beautiful as a fresh tray of fresh cut fruit is eye-catching. Also using them as a garnish is a great way to use them. We've done a lot of different things. I've juiced them. It takes a lot of them to make a good amount of juice, but we've used them in salads, and you can use them for really pretty much any recipe that calls for mandarins, especially those with visible fruit. You want to be able to see it, like a citrus tart. That is a beautiful, beautiful dessert to make a nice tart with freshly sliced fruit on top there.
Yes.
But you can also get creative, especially around Valentine's Day. You can take freshly peeled sections and dip them into chocolate, make kind of like a bonbon treat with some crushed nuts or sprinkles or flake coconut on top. That's really nice. But of course, one of our favorite ways to use them is in beverages, like a Manda Rosa mimosa.
Oh.
Which is the perfect Valentine's Day drink. It rolls right off the tongue.
We're declaring it the Valentine's 2021. We just declared the cocktail, the Manda Rosa mimosa. Oh my gosh. And it does does roll right off the tongue.
It does. Not so easy after a few of them, maybe, but
I love
or a Manda Rosa martini, and take it a step above and go to a martini.
That's right. Well, there you go. You got your morning, you got your Valentine's Day before noon and your Valentine's Day afternoon covered between the Manda Rosa mimosa and the Manda Rosa martini.
Right.
Oh, Kim, I love this fruit. I love everything that PCN stands for. And one other thing that I think is actually something that consumers should rally behind is the fact that this is a hyper seasonal item. So when you see them, you got to buy them. Okay. Because they're not around for long and the season is short. This is one of those little precious items that only pop up for literally just weeks in the produce department. So talk to our listeners about, the seasonality of Manda Rosa specifically.
Yeah, so we just got our first crop reports a couple of weeks ago, and a picture over the weekend. The fruit is looking excellent. It's ripening right up. We're looking for our first harvest sometime around the end of January. So you'll see it first in market around the end of January, all of the month of February, and then going into March a little bit. It does hold a little bit, but pretty much by mid to end of March, it'll be out of the market.
That's right. So don't delay. And when you see one, pick it up, because you just never know when it's going to be the last time you see MandaRosa's, for this year. So it's, I personally love seasonal produce items. And I feel like as our industry has evolved, logistics have improved, our ability to import product from other hemispheres. Seasonal items are almost a novelty in and of themselves in the produce department. So it's this is an exciting thing for me. If you can't tell, like, I'm super produce nerding out right now about a mandarin, but a red flesh mandarin, the Manda Rosa specifically.
Right?
But yeah, it's
absolutely.
I think that anyone listening today, when you see them, I want you to share it on your Instagram. I want you to tag the Produce Moms and Pro Citrus Network. and just know that we're so excited to share this item with you. I mean, obviously Kim believes in it. The entire team at Pro Citrus Network does. And I'm a huge fan. And as is everyone at my team here at the Produce Moms team as well. So, Kim, with that, any closing remarks from you? I mean, I want to thank you for what you do. I want to thank you for your support, and cheers to another fantastic MandaRosa's season.
Thank you so much, Lori. And I want to thank you also and your team for all that you do for us and for the industry. You're doing such great work. We really, really appreciate your advocacy and your support. And I just want to encourage everyone to keep eating their fruits and veggies, try new things, and eat your citrus every day. Not only will it, help you be more healthy, it'll make you feel better. You'll enjoy it. So thanks so much. And best of 2021 to everyone, and eat your MandaRosa's.
Thanks for joining us on this episode of the Produce Moms Podcast. If you or someone you know would like to be a featured guest, just send an email to lori@theproducemoms.com. We know there is a produce mom in you because there's a produce mom in all of us. Join our community on Facebook and all social platforms. Help us change the way America eats. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you next time.